Hey, coin collectors and history enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got something super exciting to talk about, 3 of the most intriguing and valuable Washington quarters from the late 70s and 80s. But we're not just talking about any quarters, these are special coins that have captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting into the world of numismatics, this video is packed with juicy details you won't want to miss. So, let's kick things off with the 1978 Washington quarter with a D mint mark. Now, for those of you who might be wondering, the Washington quarter itself is a staple of American coinage. It was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, and it's been a key part of the U.S. coinage system ever since. The 1978 quarter is particularly interesting because of its unique characteristics and history. The D mint mark tells us that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, a place known for producing some of the finest coins in U.S. history. The Denver Mint has been in operation since 1906 and has a rich history of minting coins for the entire country. While quarters from the D mint mark are not rare in general, finding one in fine condition, like this one, is something special. In terms of design, the 1978 Washington quarter stays true to the classic look that's been in place since the 1932 redesign by John Flanagan. The obverse that's the front of the coin features a profile of George Washington, surrounded by the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year of minting. The reverse shows an eagle perched on a branch, with the words United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and quarter dollar. Now, let's talk about condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor P to mint state MS, and this 1978 Washington quarter is in what we call fine condition. That means the details are still visible, but there might be somewhere from circulation, nothing too harsh, though. For collectors, a fine condition coin represents a sweet spot where the value is higher than those in poor condition, but it's not priced as high as the truly pristine ones. But here's where it gets interesting. This 1978 Washington quarter in fine condition can be worth a lot more than you might think. It could be worth between $80,000 to $100,000, depending on the specific market conditions, beer demand, and other factors. Why? Because Washington quarters from this time period are relatively common, but in fine condition, especially with that D mint mark, they carry a bit of rarity and historical charm. For those who love to find treasure in everyday coins, this is one that can make your collection shine. Now, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about a coin that may look a bit less polished, but has a fascinating backstory of its own. We're talking about the 1986 Washington quarter with a P mint mark in what we call dirty condition. Don't let that word dirty fool you, it's not all bad. There's actually a lot of value wrapped up in this coin. Let's break it down. The 1986 Washington quarter is another fantastic example of U.S. coinage, though it has a different flavor than the 1978 quarter we just talked about. This one was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint, in operation since 1792, is the birthplace of many iconic coins. In fact, Philadelphia is where the very first coins of the United States were struck, making it an incredibly significant place in the history of U.S. coinage. Now, the design of the 1986 quarter is very similar to the earlier Washington quarters. The obverse features the profile of George Washington, just like it has for decades. But here's the thing, when it comes to condition, this 1986 quarter is what we call dirty. What does that mean? Essentially, this coin has been subjected to some wear and exposure over the years, and it shows. Maybe it's been dropped a few too many times or subjected to environmental conditions that have affected its appearance, but don't be quick to dismiss it. While dirty may sound bad, it doesn't mean the coin is worthless. In fact, the interesting part of this coin is that it can still hold significant value. Its market price can range anywhere from $75,000 to $90,000, much like the 1978 coin, depending on factors like rarity, specific market trends, and the exact condition of the coin at the time of sale. So, why is this dirty 1986 Washington quarter still so valuable? Well, it's all about rarity and collector interest. The coins minted in the mid-1980s are not as commonly found in high-grade condition. Therefore, even a dirty coin like this can be rare for its specific year and mint mark. For those looking to complete their collections, this coin might be the perfect piece to add a bit of intrigue and uniqueness to their portfolio. The Philadelphia Mint's influence on coin design and minting can't be overstated. The coin's legacy, despite its somewhat tarnished condition, adds character to the overall story of U.S. numismatics. Next up, the 1977 Washington quarter dollar without mint mark. Have you ever come across a coin that seems ordinary, maybe a bit dirty, but after a closer look, you wonder if it could be worth something much more than face value? Well, in today's video, we're going to dive deep into a coin that might just be hiding some serious value underneath its grimy surface, the 1977 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark. But before you scroll past thinking, it's just another common coin, stay with me because this quarter could actually be more valuable than you think. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. How could a worn, dirty quarter be worth anything? Well, keep watching, and I'll explain how even a coin that looks like it's been through the ringer can sometimes be worth thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk about mint marks and why they are so crucial to understanding the value of a coin like this. But first, what exactly is a mint mark? If you're new to coin collecting, you may not know that mint marks are the tiny letters stamped onto a coin that indicate where it was made. For instance, P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, D represents the Denver Mint, and S marks the San Francisco Mint. These marks give us a lot of insight into the coin's history and rarity. So, let's say you're looking at a 1977 Washington quarter. If it's got a mint mark, you can tell exactly where it was produced. But here's where it gets interesting. The mint mark or the lack of one plays a big role in how valuable a coin might be. For instance, if your 1977 quarter has no mint mark at all, it could mean that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which, during certain years, could make it rarer than quarters made in other mints. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but how much difference can a mint mark really make? Well, let me tell you, it can be huge. For example, did you know that some rare mint markless coins can sell for an astounding $75,000 to $90,000? And this is not just some far-fetched number. It's a real price point for coins that are exceptionally rare and in the right condition. The thing about mint marks is that they not only tell you where the coin was made, but they also can give you a clue about how many coins were made that year. A coin minted in a location with a low production number may be a lot rarer than one from a more commonly used mint, which directly affects the rarity and value of the coin. But here's the kicker. Mint marks alone are just one piece of the puzzle. Coin condition is another massive factor that will determine whether a coin is worth a few bucks or thousands of dollars. Now, coin condition might seem like a no-brainer obviously. The cleaner and newer a coin looks, the more valuable it should be, right? Well, it's a little more complicated than that. Coins, like the 1977 Washington quarter, can come in a range of conditions from good all the way to mint state, and everything in between. Coin grading is a whole process that evaluates the overall condition of the coin. For instance, if a coin is in good condition, it may have a lot of wear and tear. You might see a lot of scratches, the edges may be worn down, and the design could be faded. This kind of wear significantly lowers the coin's value. On the other hand, a coin in mint or uncirculated condition looks as though it's just come straight from the mint. It has sharp details, no visible wear, and generally appears almost brand new, even though it could be decades old. This is where the value skyrockets. A coin that's well preserved can fetch a high price, even a coin as common as a 1977 quarter. So, what about our 1977 Washington quarter? Well, if it's in dirty or poor condition, its value will be lower. But that doesn't mean it's completely worthless. Depending on the degree of wear, it could still have some collector interest. It might not be worth the same as a pristine coin, but it could still hold some value, especially if it's a rare mint markless version. Now, let's talk about the grading system, because this is really where things get interesting. Coin grading is done using a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest, representing a perfect coin in perfect condition. For example, a coin graded 65 is considered mint state, while one graded 12 would be considered fair and have noticeable wear. The higher the grade, the more money you can expect to get for that coin. And here's the thing, there are professional coin grading services that will examine your coin and give it an official grade. If you ever find a quarter that you think might be valuable, it's worth sending it to one of these services to get an official grade and determine its true value. But let's not forget about the dirt. That's right, we're talking about the dirt, grime, and other gunk that builds up on a coin over time. You might think cleaning your coin would make it more valuable, but that's actually a big no-no. Cleaning coins can strip away the natural patina, diminish their value, and even make them look less appealing to collectors. If your 1977 Washington quarter is looking a little grubby, don't scrub it, just leave it as is, and let a professional handle the cleaning, if necessary. Here's something else that's important to consider: rarity. The fewer coins of a particular type that exist, the higher the chance that your 1977 Washington quarter could be rare and valuable. Now, in most cases, quarters from 1977 aren't considered inherently rare, but without a mint mark, they can be harder to find. And when something is harder to find, that drives up the price for collectors who are on the hunt for those rarer pieces. It's a classic case of supply and demand. For a 1977 Washington quarter, you're probably not going to see massive numbers being sold for big bucks, but you never know when one might slip through the cracks and find its way to an auction, where it could fetch a higher than expected price. The real value comes from a mix of factors: the rarity of the coin, the lack of mint marks, and, of course, the condition of the coin. If you find a 1977 quarter that's in surprisingly good shape, it might be worth more than you think. Now, let's talk about the big picture here. Coins aren't just about money. Collecting coins can be a fascinating hobby. Every coin has a story, a history, and a purpose. When you start paying attention to the little details, like mint marks and grading, you start to appreciate the history behind each coin. A coin that may seem ordinary to someone else could have an incredible backstory and be a key piece in your collection. So, what do you do if you find a coin like this? First things first, don't assume that a dirty, worn quarter is worthless. You should always take a closer look. Look for the mint mark, check the condition, and think about the rarity of the coin. And remember, there's no harm in reaching out to an expert or a professional grading service to get an official evaluation. In summary, whether you've stumbled upon a 1977 Washington quarter without a mint mark or any other coin, always take the time to evaluate it carefully. Mint marks, condition, and rarity are all critical components of a coin's value, and even a dirty quarter could potentially be hiding a small treasure. And while we're on the subject of big-ticket coins, remember that there are some coins out there that can sell for astonishing amounts, like one that recently fetched between $75,000 to $90,000. So keep an eye out for those rare finds. They might just be worth a lot more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss out on future coin-related content. Who knows? Maybe your next coin could be the next big find.